Wang. The story goes, there was a man named Li Jucheng from Link, Shandong. Once, he went on a wild excursion with food and wine. He encountered a whirling whirlwind, and out of respect, he poured wine on the ground as an offering. Later, he found himself in a spacious courtyard with magnificent halls and pavilions. A man in green approached him and invited him in. Li declined, but the man insisted earnestly. Li said, "I don't know you. Are you mistaking me for someone else?" The man replied, "No mistake," and revealed Li's name. Li asked whose house it was, and the man answered, "You'll find out once you go in." Li entered and saw a woman nailed to a door with her limbs. To his astonishment, it was his sister-in-law. She had a malignant sore on her arm that had kept her bedridden for over a year. Li wondered how she ended up there. He grew suspicious of the man's intentions and hesitated. The man urged him forward, and only then did Li continue. Inside the main hall, a man seated above, dressed regally like an emperor, exuded a majestic aura. Li prostrated himself on the ground and dared not raise his head. Wang instructed the green-clad man to lift Li up and assured him, "Don't be afraid. Because of the food and wine you offered in the field, I wanted to meet you and express my gratitude. There's no other business." Li felt relieved but remained puzzled. Wang continued, "Do you remember pouring wine as an offering in the field?" Suddenly, Li realized and understood that he was in the presence of a deity. He prostrated himself, saying, "Seeing my sister-in-law suffer such severe punishment deeply saddens me. I beseech you to have mercy on her." Wang responded, "She's fiercely jealous and deserves this punishment. 3 years ago, your brother's concubine gave birth, and her intestines coiled downward. Your sister-in-law secretly pierced a needle into her intestines, causing her persistent pain. Such acts lack humanity." Li earnestly begged for her forgiveness, and Wang granted it on account of Li. Wang added, "You should advise this unruly woman to mend her ways." After thanking Wang, Li walked out, but his sister-in-law nailed to the door was nowhere to be found. Returning home, Li saw his sister-in-law lying on the bed, her sore bleeding profusely onto the sheets. Furious due to a disagreement with the concubine, she was scolding her. Li advised her, "Sister-in-law, refrain from this behavior. The pain you're experiencing today stems from the jealousy you sowed in the past." Angrily, she retorted, "Even if your brother-in-law follows the ideal principles of a husband, there's no need for you to intervene with the old lady." Li smiled gently and said, "Don't be angry. If I reveal the truth, you might not even have time to cry." She responded, "I haven't stolen threads from the Queen Mother's headdress, nor have I engaged in flirtatious exchanges at Jade Emperor's altar. My heart is pure. Where would I need to cry?" Li whispered, "You pierced someone's intestines with a needle. What do you think the crime is?" Her expression changed drastically, and she asked for the reason behind his question. Li proceeded to narrate his encounter in Wang's palace and the words Wang had spoken. Hearing this, his sister-in-law trembled in fear and pleaded tearfully, "I won't dare again." As her tears still wet her cheeks, her pain suddenly ceased, and she healed within 10 days. She repented for her past actions and earned a reputation for virtue. Later, when the concubine gave birth again, her intestines hung down once more, with the same needle stuck in them. Only after removing the needle did the abdominal pain subside. The story illustrates the concept of karma, where actions eventually have consequences, even if they go unnoticed initially. One's deeds, good or bad, may come back to affect their lives, and cosmic justice will prevail in due time.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.